Why peace feels wrong when chaos raised you. If chaos raised you, peace can often feel like a threat. Nobody warned me that surviving the chaos would not automatically teach me how to live without that chaos. Sometimes the fire finally goes out, and instead of feeling free, you feel lost. Why? Because in chaos, you knew who to be. You knew how to read the room, how to brace for impact. You knew how to fix what was falling apart, how to survive one more day. Then life gets quiet, and everybody expects you to call that healing. I get it, but your body is still standing guard, waiting for something to go wrong. Now, you may not miss the chaos. You may miss knowing exactly who you were inside the chaos. Welcome to Between Sessions with Markus. As I approach 5 years of being sober, I've been thinking about something we don't talk about enough and we don't hear about. And that is getting out is not the same as knowing how to live outside of our addiction. Sobriety absolutely removed the alcohol from my life. But recovery required me to meet the man who was still there when the alcohol was gone. That's scary. And that man knew how to survive. He knew how to push through, how to carry everybody else, how to be everything to everyone, how to keep moving while I was bleeding, how to make himself useful enough that nobody would notice that inside I'm hurting. But those skills kept me alive. But survival skills do not automatically become living skills just because the danger is past. Sometimes the room is safe, but we're still watching the door. Sometimes the relationship is healthy, but you're waiting for the next betrayal. And sometimes something good happens. And before you have the opportunity to enjoy it, your mind starts calculating, how long will it take before I lose this again? This is what chaos teaches you. Do not settle in. Do not trust too quickly. Do not need too much, and never, ever let your guard down all the way. But then peace arrives, and peace asks something unfamiliar from you. It asks you to stop scanning. Stop preparing for that next explosion. Stop trying to prove your value through what you can carry. And if you've spent years surviving, that can feel irresponsible, can feel lazy and weak. But who are you if nobody needs rescuing? Who are you when there is no crisis to solve? Who are you when your life no longer requires the version of you who could function inside that fire? That question can bring grief and loss and fear of missing out. Not because the chaos was good, absolutely not. Not because you secretly want that addiction again, or that abuse, or the instability, or any of that pain and chaos back, but because you became somebody in there. You built an identity around that endurance, that survival, but now peace is asking you to become somebody you've never had the safety to meet. Sometimes you do not miss the chaos. You miss your competence inside of the chaos. You knew how to survive the emergency. You may not know how to sit inside an ordinary Tuesday without waiting for the phone to ring, the relationship to change, or worse, the bottom to fall out. So you create movement. You overwork. You overthink. You pick a fight. You chase another person to save and rescue. You turn healing into another job you can fail at. Anything to avoid the quiet. But peace is not empty. Peace is the space where a life can finally be built without the fire deciding who you have to become. And learning to live there takes time. You do not shame yourself into a trusting place. You practice it. You let one calm moment happen without interrogating it. You receive something good without immediately preparing to lose it. You notice the urge to create chaos, control the outcome, or disappear emotionally, and you ask yourself, what am I protecting myself from right now? Not, what is wrong with me? No, what am I protecting? Not, why am I still like this? No, what am I protecting? What am I guarding myself from? That question replaces judgment with curiosity. Because the part of you that cannot relax is not broken. No, it may still believe vigilance is the price of survival. But you do not have to attack that part. You help it recognize that this room is different. This relationship is different. This season of your life is different, and by all means, you are most likely different. Now, that does not mean nothing painful will ever happen again. Absolutely not. Peace is no guarantee that life will never hurt you. But peace is learning that you don't have to live every good day as a rehearsal for the next disaster. You are allowed to be here completely before you have it all figured out and how to trust being here. That, my friend, is presence before progress. Maybe peace does not feel peaceful yet. That's okay. Maybe it feels boring, uncomfortable, even suspicious, maybe lonely. That's okay. That does not mean you're failing at recovery. It may simply mean you are standing in a life your survival skills have never prepared you to live. And now, slowly, you get to learn not how to become less powerful. No, not how to forget what you've survived. Absolutely not. But how to stop requiring a fire before you can recognize your own strength. And if peace has ever felt harder to trust than chaos, tell me what the quiet brings up for you. You may discover you are not the only one still learning how to survive and live in survival mode. Hey, I'm Markus. This has been Between Sessions. We're talking about presence before progress. Thanks.